I'm feeling low. Hey everybody, hope you're well, and it's James here, and as always we've got Dwight with us. He's scrubbed up well today. I know he's been very busy doing a lot of work on the KRIOS project, but this is our bi-weekly video now, so this is your update for this week and for the next couple of weeks. So there is quite a lot in this video, and we're going to try and get it into about 20 minutes or so. But just to really summarise, Dwight, the last 6 weeks has been an absolute whirlwind since you've been in. Can you just quickly summarise all the things that have happened?
Sure can. So about 6 weeks ago, I was fortunate enough to be able to acquire the KRIOS project and kind of take the helm away and kind of move it forward. Over the last 6 weeks, some of the things that we've been able to do were add two new exchanges to it. So we added CryptoBridge and P2P, B2B exchanges to that. We were able to get listed on CoinMarketCap. We have several vendor sites that we've been added to. I was able to basically kind of round up all of the KRI coins into a company treasury so that we have a company treasury now of 190 million of the outstanding coins that will be used only for M&A in the company, and hopefully reduce the supply, which therefore increases the price. Over the last 6 weeks, we've done really well. We've started when I purchased the business. It was at about a third of a cent, 0.003 pennies US, and it's been average trading in the 2 to 3 cent range over the last couple of weeks. Now we actually, after the announcement, popped up to 7.5 cents, which was pretty exciting. So the token's moving in the right way. The project is being converted into a securities-based token, which will allow us to be able to produce a dividend stream for the holders of KRI coin. That means that we will be doing quarterly dividends of the profits of the KRIOS application and several other companies that we are in the process of acquiring, as well as the core company that did the acquisition, which is the Digital Track, to be able to create a very substantial price token at the end of the day. So I know some people can go back to the first videos that we did and look at the DDM method. I think you've done a good job of explaining that. Basically, it's the Warren Buffett method that increases the value of the actual KRI token due to the dividend. So there's a calculator out there you can look at. It's called DDM, and it gets pretty exciting. So 10 cents over a 12-month period gets us basically up to about $1.52 on a DDM model. So a lot of exciting stuff. The application has been rocking and rolling. We've been very focused on that. My team from Digital Track and from Technology Geeks, another business that I own, have been working very diligently on that. And we are hoping that in the next 10 to 15 days, we will actually release the application to be consumed by the freelancer. So if anybody doesn't know what KRIOS is basically a project that's similar to freelancer.com, upwork.com, and fiverr.com, with a couple of unique things. We're going to do it a little more focused specifically into marketing and advertising as a media group of professionals. Also, the plan at this point, and we've been working pretty hard with the developers on this because to me it's a key point, is the ability to ingest a fiat cash like a credit card, and if the freelancer desires, they can get paid out in some sort of cryptocurrency, to include Bitcoin, Ethereum, obviously the KRI coin, and some of those types of cryptocurrencies that we're going to add to the platform. So we've been really busy, been traveling a bit, doing some shows and stuff like that, trying to get the word out for KRIOS. That's helped the price. We've got a lot more buyers in there now than we used to. And also to be able to do a little bit of M&A. So there's a couple of companies now that we're working on. There's one that we may end up merging with that is, we're probably a year ahead of them as far as the timeline goes, but it's a very similar type of project that has a good team around it actually as well. So a lot of good stuff.
Do you sleep, what, Dwight?
No, I do
No,
not.
you just grasped.
Is it Joe?
When they said
Yeah,
Dwight's,
no,
when you said Dwight Speed at the very beginning, I thought, okay, and then I realised, it's full on, no stopping.
It really is. We were able to pick up another thing that happened over the last 6 weeks, which is super good and has helped me a lot, is picking up a good COO. That his name's Joe Orlando. There's actually a video that you did with him in it. A very, very high-end guy, ex-Price Cooper Waterhouse guy that's helping out a lot. So we're moving this project forward. Got a lot of good things. The whole concept is to kind of come up with a new paradigm of failed tokens, and basically taking a business that has not done so well, either because of the management or just a poor business execution, and convert them into a KRIOS family product that would also contribute to the dividends as well. So that's kind of what we're shooting for and what we're working on.
Very, very interesting. I've got to say, like in the last 6 weeks, what you guys have done compared to the team before, and how long it took for certain things to happen. I mean, it really has come on leaps and bounds, which is amazing. Yeah. However, the fun doesn't stop there, does it, Dwight?
It does not stop there.
I think you've got some more news for us, which is really good.
There is. So, one of the things is our exchange plan. Again, this is kind of a recap of some previous conversations that we've had. But the exchange plan was always to kind of increase our presence within the exchange worlds. On Friday, we're actually getting listed on a brand new exchange, which is called Kubo. Which is somebody that I actually met on one of my trips. They've got a pretty unique product. It'll be released on Friday for everybody to take a look at, but I think they're going to have some good legs. They got a really good team around the project, which is good. But that being said, we got to keep moving forward and keep moving up. And our next goal was to get one of the top 10 exchanges. We have been approved over at DigiFinex to list the CRI token out there. We're going to initially start with the Ethereum pair, and then add on Bitcoin and the Tether pair as well on that exchange. But they're 30% of the time they're in the top 5, and 100% of the time they're in the top 10. So everybody should be happy with that. A real legit exchange. We kind of were holding back a little bit. We were trying to force them into the U.S. game so that our U.S. purchasers could operate on there as well. But at this point, we're going to move forward because it doesn't look like their time frame quite matches ours. So that's pretty exciting.
Well, I think the thing is, it's just going to bring in a whole bunch of new people to the CRI token, but also liquidity. Because I think maybe in some of the exchanges, sometimes it's there, sometimes it isn't.
That's true.
So it's
and probably some stability. Some of the issues we've had with, quite frankly, all of the exchanges so far that we're on is just the stability of the platform. A lot of times it's taken people longer than it should to withdraw money. We've had some issues with the KYC processes in the past. So we're just, like I say, we're just ratcheting it up, moving forward and making our game bigger. One of the good things about DigiFinex is they have over 500,000 traders on a daily basis. So that's unique individuals that actually log in and do some sort of trading on that platform. So the market space is huge. They also, part of the deal that we've worked out with them is a marketing package where we'll be in some of their newsletters that actually have a subscription of 1.5 million people. They'll be getting emails and flyers from DigiFinex saying, welcome KRIOS to the family over there. So that should help out a lot of buyers. And why are we wanting buyers? Because we got a big fish tournament.
Indeed. And I think obviously you know my group have been big supporters since the ICO, and they've been fishing away. They've got themselves, a lot of them have got to sort of killer whale status, and they're super chuffed in terms of
we've had to actually come out of the fish realm and add Neptune to it, because some of your people are Neptune status, not just killer whale or whale status.
No. A few of them have really gone after it. So it's great, because it's like, I think that the big thing is it's all about the end game and the dividend, and that's some of the stuff that you guys are doing. I keep an eye on the market, and just nobody else is doing what you're doing. Like people say, they're creating that bridge between the real world and the crypto world, where you're taking a real business and layering it on top of a crypto business. Nobody's done that yet. That is the bridge.
It really is. It's all about having a brick and mortar that has a revenue stream primarily that can affect the price of the coin and the holders of that token. So it's pretty exciting. So with the Big Fish tournament, we'll roll right into there. We announced that last week. We've had 36 million CRI so far that have been pledged into that tournament, which is a pretty sizable amount. I'm pretty happy with that for the first week for sure.
That's decent.
But what it is it is a contest / tournament that's kind of getting our users used to what the process will be like for the dividends. So the idea is we have to know your Ethereum address, obviously, so that we can pay out a dividend when that ex-dividend date comes. So part of the Big Fish tournament is you tell us what your Ethereum address is, and then we have ex-dividend dates, September 10th and October 10th, that allow you to get free CRI. So even though it's not a dividend, based on the amount that you hold during that ex-dividend date, will actually pay you out free CRI, which is similar to a dividend. So we're trying to get people used to the idea. We're trying to get people, understanding how this actually will work. So we came up with a tournament while we're working on the SEC stuff to convert to the security token, and soon as that's over, hopefully we'll be issuing out some dividends when the end of that tournament. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
So just to clarify for your point, so let's say I want to get involved with the tournament. Where do I go to start off with to get involved?
So there's a website, bigfish.krios.io, that will bring you to a site that is continually being worked on. We're more gamifying it even still this week. We're about to do another release tomorrow on it. But basically what it is you purchase CRI out in the market, and you hold on to it in a specific My Ethereum or whatever wallet it is that you use that is not an exchange wallet. And we count those tokens. And then based on the number of tokens, there's different reward levels that are associated with those numbers. So as high as 5%. So if you are a Neptune, that means you own more than 5 million CRI. That means you're going to get a 5% bonus on that. So that's pretty substantial.
Yeah,
it's a hefty amount.
And in terms of, you talked about there's some set periods where obviously the dividends will pay out. Let's say I'm a killer whale and my cat gets ill and I end up having to sell some CRI. What happens to that dividend, for instance?
It is, you have to hold it for 30 days after the ex-dividend date. So you can add to it. So if it's your main wallet, you can increase it for the next ex-dividend date, which would be October 10th, but you can't remove any. If you remove any from that number, so let's just say on September 10th, you had 100,000 CRI in the account. If you had 100,000 CRI in the account and you added 25,000 to it on September 15th, that's great. That's going to count towards the bonus period on October 10th. But you cannot remove any more than what you had on the ex-dividend date. So if you went to 125 and needed 15, no problem. You can do that. But you can't get below 100,000, which would have been what you had on that ex-dividend date. So that will be UTC time zone, so everybody doesn't have to worry about like what time of day it is and all that kind of stuff. So on September 10th UTC and October 10th UTC, those are the dates that we make a hash mark as to the quantity of coins that you have in those accounts you've registered with the company.
Awesome. I think that just clears it up for anybody that was maybe how long do they have to hold for, what's the process, and that sort of allows them. So when you change to a security token, because I think there's some more stuff behind this, are you going to be able to run these type of competitions, or is this the only competition you can do?
Once we become a securities token, it gets much harder for us to be able to give free stuff away short of dividends. Now we could do, we may be able to. The lawyers are kind of on the fence on that. There's some things that we may be able to do. It certainly won't be of this magnitude, that's for sure.
So really, this is the last opportunity for people to really maximise their CRI and maximise that dividend payout, which will happen probably more towards the end of the year.
Yes, yeah, that's what we're looking for. So, yeah.
So fill your boots.
That's a good one.
So no, I think it's a great competition. I think you've got a lot of loyal holders over at CRI, and I think a lot of them got a little bit frustrated at times potentially back in the old days, shall we say? And I think this new wave of innovation, dedicated management, and the resources and everything that's been put towards this is just an absolute another level. I haven't seen it anywhere in crypto.
Yeah, it is. We have a lot of energy behind us, and we're not afraid of the work. And that's the main thing. It's a lot of work. Don't kid yourself. I mean, that's not it's business. Which is right up my alley. I love this stuff, but it is a lot of work. Fortunately, we've got a good team around it. We've got great admins. We've got outstanding programming team around it. And if you get out of something what you put into it. And I can tell you that I'm getting up most days around 4 or 5 a.m. I'm over in Atlanta, Georgia, and pretty much turn the lights off around 11 to 1 at night. So they're full days. And quite honestly, I need 2 of me still. So
we're not far off cloning technology. You'd be
yeah. Yeah. So exciting times. One of the things that we've kind of focused on at the onset of the project was to kind of limit the supply. So, this is an ERC20 token. So there is a limited supply. Currently, there's 355 million tokens in the contract. The company owns 190 million of those in treasury, which means that they will not be spent, like I said, short of some sort of M&A activity. That's kind of the cash for the business to operate with when it comes to buying other companies. The company also has control of probably another 25 million-ish or so that's used for operations and that kind of stuff. So it's a small pool of CRI tokens. We know of 36 million already that have signed up for the Big Fish tournament. My guess, based on some of the coins that got burned by going to bad Ethereum addresses and people that can't, find stuff, is that we probably have an outstanding pool around 90 million. So that means that there's, if you're wanting the 5% bonus, now's the time to get it, because they're going to get scarcer and scarcer as time goes on. The closer we get to September 10th, there will not be any dumpers out there. I'm quite sure of that.
No, I don't think there's that many now. I think the only people I know is just they just want it at the cheapest price possible, as you would. You're waiting for the market, the price is coming down a bit. Can you get your best bang for your buck on ETH and then come back in and I know.
I mean, in 6 weeks, by doing that, we've been able to basically turn the market cap around from about 700,000 or so when I purchased the business to we've seen as high as 14 million, but kind of hanging the $9 to $10 million market cap. That's pretty good when you understand that we still haven't even released the application. But the good news is we're going to release the application.
Awesome. And is there a specific date that people can get involved and sign up to the platform?
Yes, like I said, somewhere between 10 and 15 days. Right now, we're actually building out hardware and doing some geo stuff. My background, very hardware. Our company, Technology Geeks, does a lot of supercomputing stuff, and my wife and I previously owned 3 supercomputers, one in Amsterdam, New Jersey, and San Jose. We're very familiar with the type of infrastructure it takes to build the business correctly. So right now we're actually doing the investment in the hardware and the actual infrastructure, all the DNS changes and stuff you got to do so that people fail over to different regions and all that kind of good stuff. So it's about to be the real deal. I probably should have did a little more homework before I bought the company because I might not have beat them up quite so hard. But the market space that we reside in as a business, if you look at just the top 3, and there's probably 10 of them out there, but in the top 3, you've got Fiverr, Upwork, and Freelance. Combined last year, their annual revenue was almost $900 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So we don't need to be 100% right. I'm not looking to take them all down. I'm just looking to take 10, 15% away from each of them the first year, and then we'll take them down the second year. So,
and I think that's it. If we can track that user base, and the community and the positivity and like I can see it doing great things. And also as the transition happens of people coming into crypto, you know, we've seen back this week as well, that's all kicking off. So
Right.
you know, there's a lot, not just the big institutional investors, but some other people are gaining more confidence in the space. You know, when I started 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, there was just me, and that's why I started the YouTube channel, to help other people.
Right.
And
Right.
I think most of my mates have now bought at some point and own some form of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Krios,
Right.
different coins. So
Yeah.
the word is spreading.
Exciting times. It's exciting times. That's for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you've got the cable man coming round, so we're going to let you go.
To my house.
But as always, Dwight, I really appreciate the update. I know there's some exciting news coming, and there'll be more to come as well. So it's we'll keep in contact, and then the guys can get ready for another video in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully by then I'll have closed 1 or 2 of the M&A deals that we're working on. And those are game changers. I'll just leave it at that. They're going to make Dwight speed look like snail speed once we get a hold of those businesses and move them forward as well.
Awesome.
So
that's brilliant. Thank you, Dwight.
great. Thank you, James. Appreciate
Take care.
it.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
I'm feeling